All right, guys, these are your channeled messages for June 15th through the 22nd. What the messages are timeless. Whenever you find them, you're meant to find them. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Let's get it. I'll fix it in a second. It won't stay, and that's so annoying. I just bought a new one of these, and it's still. Anyways, so the first card out is you have everything you need inside of you. You have the keys within. Meditate to find what you seek. Solitude, be the magician, and unlock your mind. Next card out is free yourself. Allow yourself to imagine again. Be the real you. You are free. Get back to basics. Be a kid again. Be weird, unique, fearless, creative, and imaginative. Believe in magic again. And then the last card out is no one can stop what the universe has in store for you. No one. Trust the process, destined, and the universe has your back. It feels like this is the start of something new for you. Like you're beginning a whole new venture or something. You're at a whole new phase of your life. You're starting a brand new phase of life. And you're it's like the world has opened up to you, but now you're having to just go within to figure out what it is that you feel called to be doing right now, that you feel passionate about, that you feel like is your soul's purpose and mission and work, because it feels like you were doing one thing for a certain amount of time for a long period of your life up until this point in time, and now you're kind of being redirected, rerouted onto your highest timeline. And with that highest timeline comes you doing something brand new, starting kind of like starting over, it feels like, but it's new, it's foreign. I keep hearing like, what now? What do I do now? Now what? Now what? Now what? Is kind of the energy. Now what? Now what happens? Because it's I usually say it at the end of the reading, but the card that is at the bottom of the deck is the blank slate. So it's literally like the world is your oyster and everything has been kind of, it's just like fresh start. It's new beginning. It's um what are you passionate about? What brings you joy? What do you want to be doing right now? Kind of thing, kind of demeanor. And the only way you're going to be able to figure that out is by spending time in solitude, by spending time meditating to figure out what it is that, wow, this is so annoying, to figure out what it is that brings you joy, that makes you happy, that um lights you up? What is it that you're passionate about? What feels like play for you? I say play because it's here with the be a kid again. Free yourself, allow yourself to imagine, get back to basics, be a kid again, be weird, unique, fearless, creative, and imaginative. Like what makes it feel like you're playing? What makes you feel alive and free? What lights you up inside to do? And there's no rush in this. I think it like it feels like this is rushed energy, but it feels like it's you that's rush. It feels like it's you that's like rushing you. Like there's no external rush to figure this out, but it just feels like you're now having to figure out what what you want to do, what you want to what do you want to be when you grow up kind of situation. But again, there's this pressure. Like it's like imagine it's like imaginary pressure, but there's this pressure here. I don't know, to like hurry up and jump into the next thing. It feels like I think you should try everything, like try multiple things. There isn't just one thing that you have to be doing. Um, so it feels like dabbling in multiple things to see what you like, what you are passionate about, and what it it's something here with the kid thing. It's like it's like you these. Can I get more information? It's like you were repressed as a child and had to grow up really quick. Oh, I see. Thank you. So the pressure, it feels like as a child, you had immense pressure to have to grow up really fast, to be responsible really quickly, really early, to kind of like put aside the needs, the childhood needs and wants and playfulness that a child normally typically should have in order to handle whatever these it's like adult responsibilities as a kid. And so it's this energy now is coming back up to represent the childhood that you didn't get to have. I hope this makes sense. It's like everything that had to be put on hold while you went through this training, this really rough time in your life from childhood to like now. Essentially you're kind of being represented all those somewhat missed opportunities. Yeah, that's what it is. You're being represented the things that you missed out on as a child, and your inner child is now getting the ability and the freedom to play and be creative and express itself currently right now, but in your adult body. You're now able to do the things that you weren't once able to do. I don't know what the like I said, it just it feels like you just had a lot of responsibilities as a child. Like this is like I said, it's the energy of like immense pressure, like a lot of weight on your shoulders, a lot of having to be Be the adult. Be the one to hold things together. Be the one to be responsible. Be the one to, keep things going. Hold, like I said, hold things together for everybody. And the child part of you kind of like very quickly got pushed to the back burner so that you could um, become the responsible version, to be this responsible person that's able to take charge and lead and guide and protect and just be there for everybody else. It does it just feels like you've, yeah. And so now it's given Little Mermaid like a whole new world kind of thing. You're now having to essentially learn to be a kid again and to have fun in life and to, again, the blank slate card, to get back to basics, to re-nurture your inner child, number one, and play more, have more fun, do things that just make you happy, that you just like doing because you just like doing it and it's fun for you. And create things just because they bring you pleasure and joy to create, and for no other reason but just that. It it feels like that's what you're being called to do right now at this moment. Yeah, because there's like a lot of really big changes that are happening. And I've been saying this for a long time. I feel like for like the last 3 months in readings, it's been the energy of immense changes in like internally and externally. A lot is changing. And as you change and as you grow and as you evolve and as you go through these shifts and take time to sit in solitude to integrate the changes and the things that you're experiencing and yeah, going through, you, it's like walking through new dimensions and realms and timelines. You're in the process of stepping onto your highest timeline, if you have not yet done so. Obviously it's a timeless thing. It, yeah, and it feels like where you're going, like a lot of people have tried to to sabotage or dismantle or derail the process of you getting to this point. But like you here, damn it, we here, damn it, and no one can stop what it is that God source. There was a certain point. Let me say this. There was a certain point that a lot of us had to get to, right? There is a certain point that a lot of us had to get to before these blessings, manifestations, and things for our highest time, before our highest timeline could come in, right? It's like we had to reach a certain finish line. We had to cross a finish line at a certain point in the race before like the rest of the help and the teammates and the support and God source universe like could fully come in and be like, okay, here you go. But it's like, again, throughout this obstacle course, you've had to grow. You've had to go through the process of freeing yourself, right? You've had to go through the process of freeing yourself and learning who you are in accordance to God's source universe. You had to wake up. You had to wake up. You had to remember. And there was a lot of ick, for lack of better terms. There was a lot of ick that the world had projected onto you. And as par for the course, the world did a number on you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And so you had to go through the process of essentially kind of burning those things off out of you, removing those things out of you, purging those things out of you before this whole awakening, remembering, this whole growth and healing process could start. And then all this over here couldn't come in until the aforementioned things had happened. And so, like I said, there was a certain point in time that you had to get to before you could access access this. But it's like it feels like you're upon arrival to that point, like you're on on par for the course. And so there's a whole lot of predestined events that are happening and getting ready to happen, taking place in your life, that are going to change your life forever, for the good, for the greater good. It's like a lot of really good things and a lot of really good energy that's coming in with this, but it just feels like a shock. It feels like, it's something that your body and your mind is having to get used to, because you're seeing a lot of things in the physical not matching up to what you're feeling in the energetic, or what you're experiencing in the spiritual. But it's all simultaneously getting ready to blend together very effortlessly. But it's kind of a mind trip to experience. I've said this before on a few podcasts that I've solo podcasts that I've done, and podcasts as I've been a guest on. But what's happening currently right now with those who have chosen to go through this ascension process typically doesn't happen while people are still in a physical body, right? Like, usually this whole process of what I'm talking about here with this blending, like, this is usually something, as a person who is typically only in a spiritual vessel. I've had a lot of lifetimes, obviously, in other physical vessels, but my time as a guide in the spirit far surpasses my time as a guide in the physical. And most of the time, this is this is a process that you go through once you have left your physical body, right? So you're not having to deal with like the overlap of your mental trying to clash with what your spiritual is experiencing, what your spiritual is feeling, what your spiritual is going through. And so there's this kind of, not even kind of, like, it's like I said, it's like a mind trip. But because you're watching a lot of the old parts of you in the old way of life, and if you even zoom out even further than that, like the old way of the world existing, change and crumble and fall, and a lot of new things taking place in the process, like things that have never been done before happening. It's a lot taking place at one time physically, but also at the same time your mind is trying to grasp these these changes that you can spiritually feel, and that you're spiritually and energetically going through. So it's like I said, it's like a trip. It's a mind trip to experience while you're still in a physical vessel. But I think after a few months, you'll begin to get the hang of, like, oh, okay, this is new life, and I can do anything, and these are the things that are open to me, and like the abundance and the happiness and the joy and the support and all the things, like, it's all really good stuff, but again, like it's a shock to your system, especially when you went through this really young, like as a kid. So from kid to now, essentially having to be in fight or flight survival mode, like it takes a toll on your mental and on your physical body. So it feels like soon there's going to be this kind of rest and integration period that's about to take place, and in your mind is going to be wanting to like push forward and make shit happen, but you're just supposed to just be like just like chilling, just kind of like adapting to the changes that are taking place, just giving your body time to kind of reset its homeostasis. The sympathetic nervous system has really gone through it here. So it's like calming and nurturing the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system and allowing this new, really good, calm, calm, nurturing energy to come in and soothe your soul, soothe your system. It's a lot of Arcturian energy that's coming in to help with this deep cellular healing and integration. Mental, emotional, and cellular healing that they're helping with. But it's really, 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 really good stuff over here. But it just here, it does, it feels like you're tired, and um, your kid's in need of your inner child is in need of a kind of a jump start, and knowing that it is safe for your inner child to come out and play. And that's what I have for you. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on the next time. I'm so sorry about this. I'm again, I'll have to get like another one of these things. Anyways, but check out your girl's new website, and let me know what you think. It's still just ascensionoraclev.com. It's the same website, but I mean the same domain, but different website that I made. And until next time, be squad.